of the universe they were going to set them.
Yeah, they were gonna do that.
R.I.P. Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Or just the Amazing Spider-Man 3, I guess? Was that ever going to be a thing?
That was going to be a thing. It was also going to be a Sinister Six movie and all kinds of stuff. There was going to be an Aunt May movie. That was like...
She get superpowers?
No, not as far as I was aware.
What the fuck? Is it like a drama or something? Alright.
But that's not what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, we just saw the most dramatic movie of the year, and that is Deadpool 2.
Yeah. Yep. Everything you said is correct.
Yeah.
100%.
The
no fake news here.
most family fun movie of the year as well.
That's still sick, yeah.
It is a family film.
It is a film about family.
Find out. So Deadpool came out a few years ago and was just incredible with the first one. Just really lit the world on fire of like, wow.
When you think about it, he kind of came out in this movie too.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Little Colossus Deadpool action.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this movie is basically just more Deadpool. We got Ryan Reynolds coming back as Deadpool, who was great in the first one. It's great when you let him open his mouth. And and you get Josh Brolin in this one as Cable. And there's some things that happen. Yeah, we'll start talking just more general stuff. There's not a ton of spoilers that I would even say that I would want to talk about.
That we would really even get into. Like, all the stuff is just kind of like, maybe like some of the in-jokes that are all over this movie.
Like the first movie, I think this movie is just incredibly simplistic with its plot. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Because I think the more straightforward of a plot you have with Deadpool, the more play you have with him as a character. And to me, that's the draw of Deadpool, is his character. Not really that I want this just incredible story, you know?
Yeah.
So that is the one thing about this movie. It just has a very simplistic, easy to follow plot again. And I was thinking on the way home, I'm like, this movie's really weird with villains. Like, it has villains, but then it doesn't at the same time. Like, it's kind of interesting without how it does those. It doesn't have this just straightforward generic douchebag like in the first one. I don't even remember that dude's name. Ajax. Man.
Francis.
Yeah. I mean, that guy was like as fucking generic as you could possibly get as a villain.
He's British, which is like, yeah. You know, he's a bad guy.
Yeah, but this one they did some interesting twist on that sort of thing, because like I said, they have villains and then they kind of don't at the same time. Yeah, it's more Deadpool to me. I loved it. I think it's a fun 2-hour ride with just some really stylish action in the way that only Deadpool can do it. Some absolutely hilarious and crazy moments. This movie's a lot more violent and gorier than the first one too, I'd say, to me. Like, there's a lot of like, wow, I can't believe they did that. And sometimes it felt like they were just doing a little bit just for shock value or just because.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't have as much of an impact every single time. But there was those few times where it's like, yikes, that hurt.
Nice.
Sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this movie doesn't do anything new.
No.
Like, a lot of it is basically, like, from the opening credits to some of the jokes. It's literally ripping some of the things from the first movie and doing them again, but in some ways, that's really what I expected going into this. Was like, oh yeah, it's going to be a lot of the same. Like I won't say how they use it, but like the baby hand joke from the first one. They do that again. I think
that it's even more funny in this one.
It is.
It's unbelievable.
And they go fucking over the top with it. And
I didn't catch that one part. Did it actually show?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Yep.
Like, I looked looking at another part of the screen for a second.
They did.
I barely missed that.
Wow.
Was it like a baby?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. Yes, it was. But, basic instinct. But, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of that. I think the supporting cast stepped up a good bit in this movie. I don't know what the dude's name. I don't even know what the character's name is. The the taxi driver. Trying to find him.
Oh.
Oh, why am I not remembering his name? Karan Sony, sure, as a top fender. Sorry, I'm not good with names. But then, and like Zazie Beetz and of course Josh Brolin are all very good in this movie, playing Domino and Cable respectively. I like all the jokes that were catered to Josh Brolin's other work. They call him Thanos at one point, and they make reference to the Goonies, which is also very funny because he's in that movie. But yeah, I mean, like Tyler said, I'm not going to read it. The action was great. I don't know if the soundtrack was as good.
No,
this
definitely
time.
not.
I think there was. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't. They didn't even have. Mama Said Knock You Out, like in the trailer, and I was really disappointed in that. It's like, I wanted to see a fight scene of that. At least I don't remember hearing it in the movie. It might have been in it, but I don't remember it. But yeah.
Or like X gonna give it to you. Or
I mean, they did that for like a little bit, where they were
a little bit, but it didn't have the same impact as the first time that happened in the first movie. You're like, fuck yeah,
dubstep. And this time they're like, yeah, dubstep. I'm like,
yeah,
all right, fine. But yeah, a lot of cool sequences. Again, I really like Domino. I hope they do more with her character in the next movie, and same thing with Cable. But yeah, that's really all there is. Just a lot more of the same, much more obnoxious. Maybe not as good as the first movie.
I'd agree with all of that.
Yeah.
I actually liked it more than the first movie because it didn't have to like set things up. Like you already knew the characters; those were more like free to, to play with the different characters, and like people showed up, and you just kind of like teenage Negasonic Warhead,
Negasonic Teenage Warhead,
whatever it is. Like you kind of like knew her. She didn't really have any lines in the movie. She had a few, but it was just like her attitude that you kind of remember from the first movie. Like Colossus, you didn't really have to like set him up because he was in the first movie. Like you knew his personality a little bit. He's kind of like that stickler that like follows the rules and stuff like that. Like you didn't really have to set too many things up. Got past the Deadpool origin story, so they didn't have to do that. And just I just felt like there was a little bit more that they were able to play with in this movie. I like that. I really don't. There's nothing really bad about this movie. I don't really have too much to say about it because it's like it's a comedy and it doesn't work if you like try to explain why things are funny or whatever. And it's just kind of like just see it. It's very. I like the kind of humor in this movie because it's like a lot of parts of this don't give a fuck. Like it's funny. It's over the top. It's like it puts like it's not like this super sophisticated humor or anything. It's just like dumb shit that's like dirty and like really nasty
it's like if you gave Tim and Eric just a massive fucking budget sort of humor to me sometimes. Like it's just so stupid.
It's a lot dirtier and stuff. It's just like really kind of like I think you said like there's different stuff in the movie just for like shock value that I thought was like hilarious. Like they dropped like a C-bomb in this movie and like I was the only person in the theater I think that like laughed. Like I heard someone in the back just go like whoa, and I'm just like fucking laughing my ass off like the psycho that I am. So I really enjoyed this movie. It was really really funny. I mean I don't really have there's nothing like bad about this movie. It's really good. It's funny. It's something that I think you have to see if you have that kind of sense of humor. Let me think. It
has like some very serious moments where it's like trying to make you feel something, but to me, like I was just like, all right,
come on,
especially
like sure, fine. This is you kind of have to go through these points, but come on.
Especially like right in the beginning, I'm not gonna really say what happens, but then they transition to like the title sequence. If you saw the first movie, the title sequence was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And in this one, they do that sort of thing again, except it's like way more like subtle and kind of a little bit more dramatic, but still really funny. And it's like, well, not that I'm going to see Deadpool for the feels, but it just doesn't work when they do that too much. But that's the thing, like they do it and then they pretty quickly get back to the nonsense,
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty smart. I like the blind lady. I think her relationship with Deadpool is just fucking hilarious.
There was also again, no spoiler. A couple of people that I was like, oh wow, you weren't in the movie as much as I thought you'd be. Be the only spoiler I say. There's a couple characters specifically.
Oh yeah.
That I was like, oh wow, like.
So I mean, it's in the trailer. Like they recruit this team to build X-Force or whatever. That whole fucking sequence was just fucking amazing. From them recruiting them to them going on their mission and planning it was like, oh my god, that's probably one of my favorite sections of this movie, just because how funny that was. It's just so ridiculous.
I mean, I didn't know going in. It's not like spoiling anything. It's just like so you pay attention to it. There's this part with like these two rednecks. One of them is Matt Damon.
Yeah.
I don't know which one.
I don't know either. One of them is apparently Matt Damon.
Yeah.
And that's fucking awesome.
I love that Matt Damon has done a few of those things recently.
Also,
him and Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Also, there was another cameo. I'm not gonna spoil it because it's pretty subtle too. There was another cameo in this movie where apparently they got the actor to come in and he took a cup of coffee, and that was all he wanted to do. To do the little bit that he did.
That's great.
You have to tell me after.
Well, I mean,
there's another person that was for 1 second.
Well, I think it's who he.
Is that the same person?
Yeah,
that's in the movie for like 1 second.
He was in the movie for 1 second.
Maybe 2 seconds.
Maybe 2. But like, yeah, a cup of coffee was his payment to do the movie.
Wow.
And Ryan Reynolds was the person who apparently got him the cup of coffee, which makes sense. But I'm like,
it's just like you kind of see it too. Like I feel like they kind of really had a lot of fun making this movie.
Oh yeah.
And you could see it. Like there was, they're in the car driving, and Cable's in the car with him, and Cable's being all super serious because that's what he is. And he says something serious, but then he's like cocking a smile, which I was watching it. I'm like, I don't think he's supposed to do that because he didn't smile this entire movie. But when he said he started smiling, like, I can't fucking take this seriously. Which I think's fun.
Is that a knife in my dick? Yep. Yeah. But.
And also, I mean, it's really weird to say, but like T.J. Miller was pretty good in this movie too.
R.I.P.
I don't think he's that funny. Like I didn't think he was funny in the first movie. He didn't get a lot of laughs.
There was the one scene where he's just making fun of how Deadpool looks.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. But in this movie, he's just kind of like he's kind of there.
Yeah, he is. Like, but I really thought his joke about like taking a shit in a Civil War wound before it turns to gangrene. I'm like, what the fuck?
I wish they could have gotten like Hannibal Buress for that role. Like nothing against T.J. Miller before all that stuff.
Now, yes, everything against him.
But Hannibal Buress would be amazing for that kind of role because he just says like dumb shit that's funny. Like he'd be good improvising like that. I think, or like Jeselnik. Eric Andre or someone like that.
Eric Andre would be good. Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah,
he can just tell rape jokes. I'm joking. But
there's one character in this movie that I didn't know was going to be in this movie that was kind of cool. Like it was sort of a surprise. Like the second they kind of hint at it, like
strong case of foreshadowing.
Yeah, the foreshadowing joke. Like I kind of had an idea of who it was, but then they showed up later. I'm like, that's kind of cool. But like there are a couple nice little surprises in this movie. That's pretty cool. Like. Not really Easter eggs, but kind of Easter eggs. Like things that you... Like Matt Damon being in the movie. Like you don't know he's in the movie. And little stuff like that is really cool. They just do fun stuff like that. Overall I thought the movie was really good.
What do you guys think of the kid?
A little bit of overacting toward the end.
Yeah.
Like screaming and stuff. But I thought he was like... He was likable. Like, I wanted him to be in the movie more, almost. Like, I didn't really... care too much for his character arc. Like maybe in future movies I see him being like really funny. He's like the male version of like Rebel Wilson kind of.
Yeah, alright.
It'd be awesome if she was in Deadpool.
Yeah,
she would really work in a movie like that.
The first time when you see the kid and he's just like screaming like fuck you, I don't know. That was really funny. He's like fuck you.
Yeah, a lot of yelling.
Yeah.
A lot of yelling.
Yeah.
Robust New Zealand kid from New Zealand.
I just think everybody was as good as they needed to be. Like,
Very much
you
so.
go into Deadpool to just have a good 2 hours of laughs and just a ridiculous ride. And I think if you expect anything more out of that from Deadpool, just no.
Stop.
Just stop. Like, if you want something that's fucking deep and will give you the feels, just walk down the hall at your movie theater and go see Avengers or something. Or something else. You know?
Yeah.
So, I guess the only spoiler that I want to talk about, and I just want to bring it up because I thought it was fucking great, the post-credit sequence in this movie is fucking great. The main one.
Yeah.
I think. It's just funny because it's Deadpool going around cleaning up the timelines or whatever, and he like kills himself in X-Men Wolverine, or X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then he kills himself finally first picking up the Green Lantern script. Just think that's great.
And he
It's
also
really
he and he goes back and he fixes stuff that happens earlier in the film and things like that. So
Mhm. And the whole thing of him being like a part of the X-Men was just really fucking funny. How they kept bringing that up. How he's like a trainee, but then at one point, like you see all the like a lot of the X-Men in one of the rooms, and they just shut the door. It's funny how they tied that in. And also, if you care and haven't seen it, watch Logan before you see this movie.
yes, before you watch
Yeah.
the first second of this movie, go see Logan.
It's funny.
But
Deadpool 2.
Deadpool
Anything
2?
else?
Not really.
What do you guys give it?
I'll give it 8.5 out of 10. That's pretty good.
For what it was, I'll give it like 9.5. I think it's really good.
8.5 for me.
All
I've
right.
been really generous lately. Hey, Ready Player 1 a 10. I still give that movie a 10. I'm
Yeah,
giving Deadpool 2 like a 9.5. And then somehow I give God of War like an 8.5. How the fuck does that work out?
How does that? Yeah, how the fuck does that work out?
Crazy man.
I do want to
In you liked Avengers?
Yeah, Avengers
It's
was
like,
pretty
man.
good. Yeah, that was really strange to me. Like the Avengers, Infinity War was a good. I almost said Age of Ultron.
Oh no.
No, please don't.
I
Please
went
don't,
back and I
please.
watched that movie again the other day. It was worse than what I remember. Like
Age of Ultron?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot worse than what I remember. And I don't remember any. Like I don't remember it finally. But yeah, some good movies this year. That's all going to be over when I see Jurassic World. Who knows? Jurassic World could turn out to be another
Dude.
like above a 9.
That's the be all end all. Star Wars next week. There's a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I'm not going to see that.
At all? Or just not next week?
This is something for like
Yeah.
another
this is for-
video,
there's
but
something else. But
watch our weekly breakdown. You'll find out what I'm going to talk about. See that? That's some foreshadowing.
yeah.
Well, not really foreshadowing. It's just like self-advertisement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go watch Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
See ya.